Hello, Internet. Welcome to this. It's my face talking to your face. That means we're friends now. So I do quite a bit of complaining about tropes on this channel because it's fun, but I've had a really long week. We've all had those weeks where they just don't feel like they're ever gonna end and you just want to go home and So in the spirit of my really long week, rather than complaining today, I'm going to talk about what I really love, and I'm going to do it surrounded by things that make me happy. Like my Baymax mug. Not only is it adorable, but it holds a ridiculous amount of tea. Here are my top 10 favourite tropes in storytelling. Number 1, supportive, non-romantic relationships. I know, I already did a video on friendships. It was fun. But that's not the only type of supportive, non-romantic relationships. I have 3 siblings. Shout out to you guys, if you're watching. Riley got me the mug. I think she'd appreciate me saying that. In A Song of Ice and Fire, John's relationships with pretty much all of his siblings are some of the cutest aspects of the first couple of chapters / first episodes. Giving Arya Needle, his brotherly relationship with Rob, looking after Bran on his sickbed. It's really, really nice to see, and I really like it. But siblings don't need to be blood siblings to be adorable. The sibling-ish relationship between Morgana and Mordred in Merlin is so adorable in the first couple of episodes before, shit goes down. She does everything she can to protect him, and even after he opposes what she believes in, she still will do anything she can not to hurt him. And that sort of bond, well, held by the villain, is still really, really nice. But outside of siblings, you also get parents, and the uber parent is Molly Weasley. Just think about the way that she treats Harry, who's not even her own son, and the way she loves him no matter what. And it's so nice that Harry has a family finally, and I want all of the things for them. Similarly, in one of my favorite new relationships, Hopper and Eleven in Stranger Things Season 2, the way he looks after her, the way he treats her like she's his own daughter, especially after knowing what happened to his biological daughter, is just, they needed each other and they found each other, and it's really, really sweet to see them dancing together and fighting like an actual father and daughter. It's incredibly touching. It's amazing. I love it so much. Number 2, relationships that have a super slow burn. I know, I'm pretty much beating this one to death, but I have to talk about the positive side of this. I do need to clarify though that I don't mean will they won't they relationships. When I talk about a slow burn, I talk about those characters that you know for a fact that will definitely get together. But until that happens, it's the little things that make you so happy. It's not the back and forth of will they, won't they. It's that very slow progression of a relationship from start to finish. Probably the most obvious and adorable examples of this is Jim and Pam in The Office. From the second episode where she falls asleep on his shoulder, to her accidentally kissing him in Chili's, to the casino night. Eventually you know that despite all of this, Jim and Pam have to end up together because they've been setting it up from the beginning. But each thing is so small, but it still fills you with that rush of happiness that a massive proper kiss would do. And these sort of little things, her reaction to the teapot, her smile the first time he asks her on a date, those sorts of really tiny little things give just as much thrill as if they were fucking. Number 3, reality ensues. So this is when you're watching a movie and things are happening in this majestic movie fashion, and then they get hit by a dose of reality. Think about 500 Days of Summer. We get this stereotypical movie character who falls in love with Summer and things don't work out, and he spends all this time fantasizing that they're gonna get back together only to get hit with the fact that she has gotten engaged. It's this kind of punch in the gut to a romantic comedy couple that you don't normally expect. Although I do love it when this happens to comedic effect, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, because this is my favorite example of reality ensues. There's a cold open where Jake is chasing a perv and he jumps into a car and tries to drive away and immediately gets stuck in New York traffic. It's hilarious. It's realistic and it works. Number 4, the well-intentioned extremist. These are the people who honestly and truly believe that their goals are just, and everything that they do, all of the bad stuff, all of the crimes they commit, are worth it. Probably the most extreme example in recent memory is Valentine from Kingsman, because he has a legitimately good objective in I want to stop climate change from happening, although mass murder probably wasn't the best way to go about that. Just a thought. Now this trope mostly has to do with villains. Inspector Javert, who believes in the law so fervently that he wants to capture our hero. Pretty much all of the episodic villains in Merlin as well as Morgana and Mordred, they seem to have legitimate grievances against the people that they're fighting against. Probably the most iconic, Magneto fighting for mutants' rights by being militant about it. These are the people whose villainy is confusing because they honestly and truly believe that they're doing the right thing, but they have to do the wrong thing to get there. And I think my favorite element of this trope comes from characters who are so heroic start stepping over that line into villainy because they just need to get this shit done. It's a dissonance, and I really like that. I think it's really fun and really interesting. Number 5, the broken masquerade. So you know when you're watching a fantasy and everything is secret, and then there's that one person that gets let in on the secret. I love that. Even the prospect of Arthur finding out about Merlin's secret in episodes, and those minor characters that do, is so exciting. Just that reveal. And I just think that their reactions to that are hilarious. Fainting, sometimes they're just flat out not believing it. I think it's hilarious. It's one of my absolute favorite things, and it's just something that makes me really excited. I don't really have very many examples for this, but I'm just so excited about it. Number 6. A ban on magic or fantastic racism. This is probably most prevalent in Harry Potter, where you have the purebloods versus muggles conflict, but it's everywhere. It's in the Mortal Instruments against the Downworlders. It's in Dr. Seuss with the Sneetches. There's something about this incredibly arbitrary reason for hating someone. It's relevant to society. Number 7, anyone can die. Why do I like this? I don't know. It puts me on edge. I think I've watched too many shows throughout my life where deaths were fake outs or they were brought back to life. Death is cheap. And I really love it when a show, book, movie, something can just punch you in the face and be like, nope, no one is safe. It gives you genuine fear. But I am going to bring up the obvious example in A Song of Ice and Fire. Without mentioning who dies, that show has a reputation for a reason. There's only been one time where people didn't accept that a character was dead. And just the fact that main characters, seemingly really important people, can die within the first couple of books. It's so scary, but it's so wonderful. Number 8. A minor crime reveals a major plot. Think about Stranger Things. A boy goes missing. Okay, by the end of the show, it's about fighting a monster. That's awesome! I don't know why I love that so much, but it's so much fun to watch. Pretty standard spy mission between Captain America and Black Widow, but uh-oh, Hydra's been infiltrating S.H.I.E.L.D. for 60 years. What? We start off with a pretty mundane thing, and it turns into something epic. Number 9, breaking the fourth wall. This is one of my favorites. We have our obvious ones in Deadpool, anything by Monty Python. But in my opinion, the king of this recently, because I did mention Monty Python, who is the king of this, but I love Phineas and Ferb so much. The aside glances, the actual line, what did I tell you about breaking the fourth wall, and just little things. And it is like 70% just breaking the fourth wall. It's amazing, it's hilarious, and it's one of my all-time favorite programs. It is not for children. I love it. Finally, number 10, characters who aren't quite what you think they are. This envelops a couple of different things. This is the person that you think is really bad at their job, but is actually really good at their job. Anytime Michael Scott goes back into paper sales and you realize, oh, he's really good at that. Or it could be a character who seems really, really dumb or cowardly or weak and ends up being an actual badass. Neville Longbottom, you are my hero. Elle Woods in Legally Blonde, that trial at the end is iconic and so much fun. Or it can be someone going undercover. It's fun, and I love it. So that was my top 10 favorite tropes. This list was so hard to make because there was so much that I loved, but I thought having 10 was a nice round number to work with. But it was good because just like it feels good to rant, it also feels good to gush. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you liked it. If you did, please hit that subscribe button here, because we're friends now. As usual, I've also linked all of my social medias in the description box below. Please check those out. Thank you again so much for watching. I post new videos on Thursdays. I will see you next week. Bye!